Good evening. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Today is May 17th, 2018. We have the Environmental Conservation Board. We have an agenda that we're going to follow. And the first item on the agenda is Lake Plaza Shopping Center.
Good evening, Geraldine Tortorella of Hockerman, Tortorella, and Wexstein. We're counsel for the applicant.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Good. Last June, you granted a wetlands permit for some work in connection with the redevelopment of the Lake Plaza Shopping Center. The construction is ongoing and currently pending, and we are here to request an extension of our approval because we have not completed all the work that was covered under your wetlands permit.
Okay, and how long of an extension are you looking for?
You know, we're looking for a one-year extension, although I'm anticipating that most construction will be done by the end of the year, November or so, if not sooner.
So this would bring you to June of 18.
19.
No, 17 is when we issued it. Oh, June of 19, yes.
Correct.
Thank you. It's been a long week.
I know it's hard to believe that we're actually almost in June.
So, do you want to just make it to the end of the year? This would make it an 18-month permit as opposed to a 1 year?
Why don't you make it a year, because they probably may have some delays. Then they may have to.
Well, that's what I'm saying, give it an 18-month as opposed to a 1 year.
18 instead of 1 year?
Yeah, make it till the end of the year of 19.
Fine. let's
And
do
this
it.
way it gets you through to do whatever plantings you have and,
Except that if it doesn't happen, then I have to come back. And the
Anyway.
permit expires once the work is completed, so it's not like we have any incentive to delay it.
okay,
So if you could
no
give us the
problem.
year, just so that we can avoid having to come back.
Was it a
if we
weather
need to.
issue?
It's a combination of issues. I mean, weather, construction always takes longer than you anticipate. You never start on time, although we were pretty close to the commencement.
I'm trying to
date.
give you
I'm
more
trying to give you more than a year.
than a year.
Oh, no, I'm looking to June 2019.
Well,
I was going to give you till December of
For the
2019.
No, that I do not think that we
Okay,
need.
no problem.
For the
Has-
reasons you said, because things are delayed and et cetera, we were suggesting maybe you want more.
I misunderstood. I thought you meant to the end of
We
2018.
only want
I
a year,
apologize.
we'll only give you.
Yeah, we'll
a year.
give you a year.
I really think that we
No
only
problem.
need a
That'll
year,
do it,
so,
Has anything changed on the plans that were previously approved?
no.
And you're doing the work in accordance with the plans and specifications and the permit and everything else?
That is correct, and I checked with our client just today before I came, just to make sure that there were no issues or concerns on the part of the town, and there have been no violations or other issues with construction proceeding as required.
Okay. So I have a motion to grant a one-year extension to permit number 935 to Lake Plaza Shopping Center for 234 Closter Dock Road, Closter, New Jersey, for the location 983-1005 Route 6, Mahopac, New York. The permit will be extended for 1 year from 6/16/18 to 6/15/19. Okay? This is May 17th. Do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I hope I don't see you here.
You got one, you got 1 year.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. We can't even give stuff away today.
I know.
Doesn't work.
I'm having technical issues. Head broken. Okay, next item, Mazzola, Joseph, and Conchetta, 39 Carmine Drive. Tax map 7514-1-25, construction of septic system and single-family home. All right, so you were here the last time. There were no comments or questions from the public. has there been any changes to the plans as previously filed?
Yes, we made the revisions that you requested, added indication that the wetland inspector will be notified, that no stockpiles are gonna be 100-foot buffer, spill kit, no fueling of machinery within the 100-foot buffer, things like that.
Okay, did you put it on a drawing?
Yeah, it's on the plans.
It's been a while since you were here.
April 5th.
I wasn't here for that meeting.
That's right.
Sorry. Okay. Could you just let me the notes, tell me the notes again, Jack?
The construction sequence number 1 that we added about the wetlands inspector,
Right?
ECD notes underneath that, about the stockpiles and the
Right.
spill kit and the refueling.
Mhm.
That was it really, right?
We had some, the silt fence, maybe you define that?
We moved the stockpile
Yep.
out of, well, one was in the setback, we had 2 of them, there were silt fences
We had
everywhere.
a question about the silver. Don't think he did.
Okay, you gave us silt fence details in here as well?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah?
yeah, yes.
Yeah, that was in there.
Okay. And there's no escrow on this, so with that, do I have a motion to?
How come there isn't an escrow?
There's no escrow. So it says in the application, no escrow. It's a single-family home.
Okay.
So do I have a motion to grant the permit, permit number 941 to Joseph and Conchita Mazzola for 278 Route, for 39 Carmine Drive at Mayapack, New York, as filed by the applicant. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you
We'll
very
just
much.
do- Thank you.
Good luck.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, we just gotta do an EAF. Dominic, this thing's gonna blow up on me. All right, will the proposed action create a material conflict with adopted land use planning or zoning regulations?
No.
No,
Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of land use?
no,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
no,
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? Nope.
nope,
Will the proposed action result in adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Nope.
no,
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No.
no,
Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies or public-private wastewater treatment facilities?
no,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, aesthetic resources? No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in adverse change to natural resources, example, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora,
No.
and
No.
fauna? Will the proposed action result in an increase in potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? Nope.
no,
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
Nope.
No.
Check this box if you had determined that based upon else above, You done? Okay.
You made it. Good timing.
Which one are you for?
Najda?
Najda.
Nashton, 31 Tamarack?
JIT.
Boy, you really timed it right. Usually, when you're late, you go to the back of the line.
I know, but perfect timing. I came running limping too.
Well, I think you may need to do another lap or two before we get to you.
Did you leave your lights on?
No, they go off by themselves.
Okay.
Okay, so, Willie, there were no comments or questions from the public. We do the EAF, we have to sign the thing, and there's no escrow. Okay? So this is can you please state your name and who you're here to represent?
William Besharat, I'm representing the owner.
For 31 Tamarack Road, correct?
Correct, yes.
So this is Michael Najarian, 31 Tamarack Road, Mayapack. You want to repair and enlarge an existing boathouse, repair the deck and storm-damaged seawall. And nothing has changed on the plans as previously submitted?
No, the only change that we did is what the comments that the board asked us to do.
Yep.
The couple of notes, whatever it is, that's the only thing that was, I knew they were resubmitted to
Rose,
To Rose.
Rose, yes.
you put a silt fence on the site plan?
Yes, we did, yes.
You put
No
a
heavy
100-foot
equipment to be
buffer?
used,
Uh-huh.
No heavy equipment, all work will be done
No
manually.
stockpile.
Wetland must be notified
There's
after
no
erosion
stockpiling.
control.
There's
So,
what?
He owed a deed too, I believe.
Yes, we gave it,
You
yeah,
got the
we had
deed?
everything
Okay.
for. And we put the 100-foot buffer as was asked.
Right.
And you'll contact the wetland inspector.
Yes, we will.
That's it. No foundation work.
Nope, no
Just the
pouring
roof.
concrete, it's just gonna be dry stone wall.
stop playing. All right, the only thing is I added on the note on the drawing that you have to notify the wetlands inspector.
Yeah.
All right? So with that, do I have a motion to grant the permit? Permit number 942 to Michael Najin for 31 Tamarack Road, Mayapack, New York, to repair and enlarge existing boathouse, repair deck and storm damaged seawall as previously, as submitted. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you very much. Sorry about being late. It was actually perfect.
You weren't
timing.
You
late.
weren't late. That was good timing.
Thank you. Have a
Excellent.
nice
Good luck.
evening. Enjoy the weekend.
You too.
You too. Short form again. There's gotta be a simpler way to do this.
No, because
Or
we know
you
the
could say
site.
you reviewed it.
What?
You could say
No, you gotta
reviewed
check it.
You gotta do line by line, right?
I raised a question at one time, whether you even have to do that, but go ahead and do it. It's better to do
Will
it.
the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use planning and zoning regulations? No.
Pragmatic.
Will the
No.
proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of land use?
No,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of existing community? No.
no,
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a CEA? No.
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or does it affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? Nope.
nope,
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy as it fails to incorporate reasonable, available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No.
No.
Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies, public-private wastewater treatment utilities? No to
No.
both. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
Nope.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna? No.
no,
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No.
no,
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
no.
No. No.
You don't have it memorized by now?
I recite it in my sleep every night before I go to bed. It's kind of what's puts me to sleep.
No.
Ed, you're just static. you keep playing with it, it's gonna make a noise.
Could be a musical thing.
Okay, submission of application or letter of permission. Galindo Brolino, 159 Lake Shore Drive.
Yes, good evening.
Leo.
Could you please state your name and
Yeah,
why
my
you're
name-
here?
My name is Braulio Galindo, and I'm applying for a wetland permit for 159 Lake Shore Drive. It's an old house that's gonna be demolished and put a new house.
Are you demoing a house and building a new house or a
Yes.
boathouse?
Demo the old house to put a new house.
Full demo,
Full demo, yes,
100%.
100%.
You're gonna build a new foundation?
New foundation for a new house, yes.
I'm doing this for you. You and I could share. All right, so in the application, I have just for the record, an application for a wet. Hey, Dom, is there anything we could do with this?
That's
The application for a wetland permit, a short form assessment of form. I do not have the checklist attached to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I also have check is enclosed. I have your tax map. Oh, you don't have a copy of your deed? Because there's an affidavit here.
All right, I bring my deal with me, I'm not sure which page that they will need it.
I'm going, because you gave me a deed, an section affidavit dated August 2017. So I'm just gonna need a copy of your deed for the files as the permit process goes along. If you want, I'll look at what you have, you could give me a copy, you could bring a copy to Rose this week. We'll just take care of the incidentals right now. Oh, this is the title insurance. Oh, here it is. Lead.
That's the number one waypoint for every aircraft in this airspace.
This is it. But it's not his name on it yet. You bought the house last year?
Yes,
Okay.
August of last year.
If you get a chance this week, you're just gonna have to go to the county offices and get a copy of your deed, okay? Because you gave me the title return here, the title insurance, which is, fine, but I don't want to put this whole thing in the file for you.
Okay. I have more paperwork.
Yeah, no problem. This is yours. Oh, we're getting close. Here's the deed. All right, tomorrow or Monday, just make a copy of this one, please.
Could
And
we keep that, or do you need that?
he needs it.
Okay.
Yeah, just bring a copy of this one. You want me to I'll just put a little, little check mark up in the corner. All four of them, all of them. Just that one, just that one. All right? So let's see what you want to do here. Sorry, Ed.
What's the square footage of this house?
It's gonna be 2,500.
2,500. Is that shown here on your detail, 2,500 feet for structures?
Yes.
So you're gonna file an application to demolish this building, and then you're going to submit an application to reconstruct, or you already have those plans?
I have the plans, I did application for demolish, and I have it. And I have the house is demolished already. And the architect has finalized the plans with this one to submit the permit, for the building permit.
Okay, did you,
Did you say the house is already demolished?
Yes,
it's already demolished?
Yes.
Already demolished.
I have the permit for demolition.
Yeah, but you don't have a wetland
Wetlands permit.
permit. So then what are you here for?
I'm here for, to get the letter for the permit for building the new house.
The old house, the existing house,
Well, the
a
application
portion
gets
was
in-
inside the buffer zone,
Yeah,
the 100-foot buffer zone.
Yes, that's why I'm asking the permit for the wetland permit, or letter permit.
But you need a wetland permit for any work within the 100,
especially the demolition.
especially the demolition.
Well, the house was there, was no in 100, it was, you can,
Where was the existing house?
It's in the it's the lighted, the lighter print. You could see it. It looks like the outline goes within that. The proposed house, 2/3 of it's inside of it.
You're also doing drainage work.
Yeah.
Did you do the drainage work yet?
no.
Okay, so right off the bat, you're gonna need to show us, you got a piece of paper ready? Because you're gonna be writing some notes. See,
Did you get a
You
permit?
could
to
write on
demolish-
this, too.
Did you get a
know?
permit to demolish the house?
Yes,
Where did you get the permit from?
the building department,
And they didn't tell you needed a wetlands permit?
no. I find out that I need a wetland permit when I was applying for a permit for building house.
okay, so, what you need to do is, you need to determine the area of disturbance for the house, okay? Because if you're at 5,000 square feet or greater, you need to file a SWIP, Stormwater Prevention Plan, and that goes to the DEP. Right? DEC, right, sorry. So, and that would take into account, you're putting a foundation on this house, right?
Yes.
So it'd be the foundation and all the drainage work. So if your foundation is,
Let's see.
what is the size of the house?
It's 2,500 square feet.
So that's 2,500, then you're gonna dig up the driveway as a proposed driveway. I need to know the area of the house, the proposed driveway,
Which you have in the plans.
all I have is this. I need to have your here's the,
These dimensions you have here, the numbers you list, they're not following, you already have 2,500 feet for a structure. You're saying you have 1,532 feet here for a structure.
But if you see the line with the wetland is, it's just partial of the property.
You're
which is-
taking
it's
anything
not-
within
it's
the
not a-
100 feet.
Yes,
In other words, you're giving me dimensions from that 100-foot buffer only on this project. You see that, Chairman?
yep, he's only counting half the, quarter, three-quarters
He's
of the
quarter
house.
about like 2/3 of the none of the project.
That was a large
It's
house.
less than half of the project.
You demoed 2 houses or 1 house?
one house.
But the disturbance is,
Is the entire thing.
yeah, right. I mean, he's changing the contours and everything. Shows complete disturbance.
first story stairs to grade.
When was the house demolished?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
All right, you also have the storm tech you're using as your infiltrated chamber insulation. That counts as disturbance. So I need you to, I need your engineer to go look at this. Let me ask you another question. Did you use a machine to demo the house?
Yes. Small backup.
Yeah. And when you construct the new house, did you start digging the foundation yet?
No.
Okay, so what you're gonna need to do is a spill prevention plan. You have to store the you have to put on on the drawings, store equipment on poly at night when not in use. Outside the buffer. You need to put in a floating boom and silt fence.
I have that.
Is that shown on here?
I don't see it.
The edge
Oh,
of
yeah,
lake?
perimeter, on the perimeter, not across. Yeah, they have it around the whole perimeter, right here.
Yeah, but that's on land.
Right, that's on land.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And the lake, the edge of the lake is still another 50 feet from this thing. So he's got silt fence, so he's not working near the lake. Oh, I see. Storage volume. And you're doing the storm tech and for mitigation with instead of the garden.
Square footage has to be added. You know, Chairman, the first story stairs to grade, is that been calculated?
Well, that's the thing, you need to recalculate your areas of disturbance. You need to.
That would be
And
impervious.
you also did a deep test pit, you did a 6-foot test pit on the property.
Point that out to me.
Where?
Oh, he just pointed out, I can see from here.
This is the
Okay.
you did a 6-foot test pit.
Oh, okay.
So what they wanna do is this is not for septic, these this is for storm water.
There's a perk right there, too.
Storm water chamber, because you're discharging to the lake
12 minutes per inch.
also. Discharge to daylight.
Have you gone to the health department for the septic?
We have no septic.
Yeah, you're on sanitary sewer.
Yes.
There's a pipe.
All right, good.
That is great.
Yeah, because it's,
And you're on town water, is there?
Yes.
So I don't think we need a floating pool.
What is this building envelope here?
The area that you have on here, building envelope, if you look right under lot 24,
It goes all the way around. It's a
Goes all the way
big
around.
rectangle. What is building envelope? What is that? Envelope of what? What building?
It doesn't really encompass the stairs, the building envelope.
kills me. Are you cutting any trees down?
There was no trees on, was
Did you cut any trees down?
a few ones, they was all dead.
How many did you cut down?
There were like 2, 3.
they were dead?
Yes.
So you're changing the grade, the contour of the property too, right?
Yeah.
Are you bringing fill in, or are you just regrading?
which is regraded.
I need to see a regrading plan.
Do you have equipment that's going to be parked here?
Yeah, I just said that, they're gonna have to
did.
store it on, store equipment on, and it's provide a fueling plan.
Fueling plan, fueling area. So you have a temporary stockpile area, similar to that detail.
I need details on the temporary stockpile area.
In other words, show what a stockpile will look like with the silt
I
fence
need
around
silt
it.
fence details.
The silt fence detail's there, just to the right of that Lakeshore Drive, in the middle. Bob. There's a detail there. Below grade, 6 inches.
See it. That threw me off is the pickets.
Yes, because it's rebar. There's another detail down here for that, too.
They play hay bales. They have hay bales in front of the wire fence. Silt and hay bale. We don't use hay bales, right?
Hay bales is not really.
Word. And what's the driveway gonna be? What's out of the buffer?
That's asphalt. 2.5 inches over 6 inches of item.
There's another detail for silt fence here.
Yeah. This one sheet is everything, huh?
Yeah.
You can see the old house now very clear, you know?
It's like, it looks like, it's a shadow, I
Yeah.
guess.
With a bump out in the back. That's the bump out right there. So that was really the only thing in there. Do you have the silt fence up now?
Yes.
You're gonna need to schedule an inspection with the town wetlands. Right?
Yes, so the figures for impervious coverage,
I need those calculations redone.
we gotta redo those.
Because right now you're at 3190 proposed residential's, 3,200 square feet, but you're only taking into account the lot, the structures, the driveway, the patio deck and others. You don't take into account the two infiltration chambers or their piping, because you have two storm techs down within the buffer down here.
Yeah.
So that's adds into it, plus all the piping.
6 inch.
Yeah, I mean, probably doesn't a lot, but it has to be added into the calculation. If it's under 5,000, it's under 5,000.
The first story stairs,
But this is 100 foot, 100 by 100 square. He's disturbing the entire square.
Yeah,
That's 100 by 100, it's 10,000 square
it's
feet.
10,000 square feet.
He's just, he's doing every,
And you're regrading it, so.
Regrading the whole
You're gonna
thing.
need to do you have to provide calcs to see if you have to supply a SWIP.
yeah.
Does he show the trees on here?
No,
You have to show the location of the trees, because you show tree protection, trunk armor.
Right.
And I need a count of the trees.
there's some trees closer to the Lakeshore Drive. That's what we
I
see
see
there.
2 of them.
Yeah.
oh, hay bales acceptable here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You don't need the hay bales. You have them in already?
Do you have hay bales in now?
No.
No. You don't need them.
Put 'em in.
I have wood chips that I put all across.
Would you?
Wood chip.
Yeah. Because what I did is when I was all the dead branch, I chip it and I put it all in the bottom.
No, it's not. It shouldn't be an issue.
Just the silt fence detail.
That's all.
And in fact, between the house where your one silt fence that goes across the property of the 100-foot, I'd like a double row of silt fence.
It should be one, well, double row, maybe wire back too. I don't know.
Yeah, wire back. One, if this one's gonna stay the same, put a row of wire backed.
The ones to the neighbor's
Yeah,
house.
this way you don't have to, the one from neighbor to neighbor,
Okay.
right?
That should
5
protect
foot
the land.
apart, 5 foot off of that one. And that's it, that's all I could come up with.
Recalculate.
Yeah. So you need to recalculate the area of disturbance. That has to be, that has to include the entire lot because you're regrading the entire lot based on this drawing. You're gonna have to include the foundation for the building. You're gonna have to include the storm tech infiltration chambers and the stairs, you know, whatever is associated with the house, basically from that 100-foot buffer down, you're disturbing. So that takes care of that. Then I need to see the calculations for the garden. What's the rain, instead of a rain garden, you're putting the infiltration chambers. Got to see how you came up with your sizing for the infiltration chambers.
You know, you only show that you're collecting the roof drains in the back of the house. What does the house look like? That you're only collecting in the back of the house? The roof drains.
And rename the 100-foot lake setback to 100-foot buffer. And then you need a
Where was
copy
the
of
original house? I mean, compared to what you have as a proposed house, how's it compared to that?
A little closer to the road. You could see the outline there, right, Vince?
very vague.
It's vague.
Yeah, I see it.
It's vague. The old house only had the bump out really in the buffer. Let me just outline it for you. See this, follow me. This is the back of the house.
Oh, okay.
And here it comes. And it comes up like this. Okay. Okay. You see that?
Yeah, now I see it, yeah.
Well, you saw that, obviously.
Yeah, so it's light. Proposed increase impervious area, storage volume, storage provided 2 storm tag chambers, 71.4 cubic feet. Yes, for that, but I don't know.
There are a lot of other dashed lines in there. I'm not quite sure how you identified the house that way, though, because there's some other dashed lines in here, too. It could be possibly part of the house or something.
The old house, you speak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have some lines along here where could possibly have been some.
What was the
part
square
of
footage of the old house? Less than 2,500?
Yeah. That was like, I think 14, I'm not sure. It was,
All right.
don't have there.
So, based on this, right now, we can't accept your application. So please address the following items. Areas, recalculate the areas of disturbance, include all items as we previously discussed. a spill prevention plan, a fueling plan, and a fuel staging area for when you refuel the equipment. Or put a statement on here saying no equipment will be refueled at night. Store equipment on poly at night, not within the 100-foot buffer. Has to be up, like in your proposed driveway area, on poly. Silt fence, you have to add another layer of silt fence, double wire back. You need to show us a regrading plan. You show us that you're changing the slopes of it, but what are the existing, how much you taking down? Because right now you go from, at the top of the house, the midpoint of the house, you're at 98. Obviously, it's sloping down towards 90 plus 5, 90.5. What happens after that? Is it gonna maintain the same grade, or are you gonna go down further and regrade that other area? I just need to see kind of a better regrading. Basically, how much volume of soil you're gonna be digging up? Because I don't know what the existing, is there an
Show
existing?
some elevations.
Yeah. Existing elevations. Details on the stockpile area. Schedule inspection with the town wetlands inspector to check out the silt fence. Provide the tree location, count the number of trees that are on site that you're gonna protect. The wire back silt fence we discussed already. Reconfirm your stormwater, the sizing for the infiltration chambers. Because the way you show it is only 71.4 cubic feet. But the infiltration is, you have the driveway and the proposed house, which, then you just need to check that.
Well, I heard the engineer saying the driveway, because I did ask him if he want to put another one, but he said the driveway based on the size of the lot doesn't require another one.
The size of the what?
The size of the land
Yeah.
doesn't require to have another.
Because it's draining towards road, the Lake Secor Road, is that why you said that?
Because, it's gonna be, has a lot of space here to drain. I don't know if that,
That's, that runoff is draining towards the lake or the road, do you know?
to the
Does it
The
go
lake
towards the
is-
road or the lake? Or does it go to the side?
Well, by the time they're done, it's gonna drain towards the lake.
Everything's going towards the lake.
Well, the spot elevations in the road are 99 and 100.
So
So everything slopes down to the lake.
slopes down to the lake. So that's considered impervious.
You're impacting the lake.
All right, size, just verify the sizing for the infiltration chambers. Rename 100-foot lake setback to 100-foot buffer. Copy of the deed, and that's it.
What happened to the playground equipment?
excuse me?
What happened to the playground equipment?
That's not in my property.
That's not your problem. Okay, so that's still there.
That's,
Okay.
Lake Circle Park District. All right, good.
if anything,
Could
My
you also,
And please do not start any work until these items are addressed and you have a wetlands permit.
could you bring in some photos of the lot too? Okay?
Okay.
Could you give us, so we have some visual idea what it looks like? Okay?
All right, any other questions, gentlemen?
if I miss anything, the engineer can call tomorrow and have all what you just said, right? He can address what we,
Well, I'm giving you the notes, and you
That
can give
you-
it to him.
okay.
These are my notes. I mean, they'll be in the meeting minutes in about 2 weeks, but if you should, if you want, you can take a copy of this,
Yes,
take
please.
a picture.
I can take a picture.
Take a picture. It's worth 1,000 words. Can I have that? Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
see you.
Have a good night.
And no work until You get your permit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Lionsgate Property Management, former replacement of existing timber bulkhead, boardwalk, and docks. Could you please state your name and who you represent?
Jason Snyder with Beatty and Watson Surveying and Engineering, representing the owner, which is White Sail Condominiums. The applicant is Lionsgate, the property management company.
Okay, and you have the ownership for the deed for the property, which is good. And why don't you walk us through what you want to do?
So we have, here's the condominium complex. They have existing wood bulkhead across the lake shore, which the shore is right up against the wood retaining. It's a
Timber.
6x6 pressure treated retaining wall. There's a boardwalk about 8 feet wide that runs along the whole length. And then there's docks, fixed docks off of those, off of the boardwalk.
The piers,
Yeah,
the boat slips.
yeah, boat slips, they're boat slips.
Okay.
There's 19 existing docks, so that's 38 boat slips.
Yeah.
We have a joint application filed with the DEC, the Army Corps, and the Office of General Services. We're gonna need a stream disturbance permit from the DEC. We're gonna need, the Army Corps is just a nationwide permit, so there's really nothing to do there. They will require, since we're in the watershed, they need a pre-construction notification with the DEP. And then the Office of, the dock permit with the Office of General Services. It's just a letter of maintenance, because we already have an easement good till 2020 with the Department, or the Office of General Services. The easement's shown on the survey.
You said DEP or DEC?
DEP.
DEC.
DEC, okay, I thought so.
Yeah, DEC, it requires a
Yeah.
disturbance permit for the bed and banks disturbance. We do have we anticipate over 5,000 square feet of temporary disturbance, so we've prepared a basic SWIP, which includes just basic erosion and sediment control. We'll have to have the town stormwater officer sign off on that for the MS4 acceptance form. So the NOI is basically ready to go.
What's your sequence of construction with this project?
Well, we're gonna repair the, obviously, we're gonna repair the,
Timbers.
but, well, we're gonna demo,
100%?
100%.
You're gonna be using equipment, obviously.
Right, yeah.
What, are you gonna use an excavator, or are you gonna have a barge or a crane?
A combination of all three, probably. Depending on, we have we're working with Tectonic. They're the structural engineers for the retaining wall.
Okay.
So depending on what's required in terms of backfill and anchoring for the retaining wall, that's gonna dictate a lot of that.
The existing footings that are there, supporting this dock structure, are they being disturbed, or they're coming out?
I anticipate that we're gonna be reinstalling the footings for for the docks, some type of a auger.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of these docks are in complete disrepair. I mean, some of them are falling right into the water, yeah.
The main dock or just the fingers? Both.
The
The
fingers.
boardwalk, basically, and fingers?
Yep, the fingers, yeah.
Fingers. The fingers are floatables, right?
No, they're actually fixed.
They are fixed,
Yep.
wow.
So the boardwalk is kind of connected to the wall, and then there's like, we may be, depending on their recommendations, we may be able to save some of the cribbing that the boardwalk is sitting on. Because the boardwalk is kind of sitting on wood timber cribbing that's filled with riprap.
Right.
You can see where there's a missing piece of dock, and you can kind of see how that, what the structure of that looks like.
Okay, so right off the bat, I have no issue. You have a filter fabric, you also show a floating boom, a turbidity curtain. I need to know your, at a minimum, I'd also like a floating boom just outside of the turbidity curtain to extend out, because you're gonna be using heavy equipment, and God forbid we have a hydraulic hose break or something. Because the turbidity curtain, the way it looks here is, it floats, but it's,
You mean a boom that, like an oil absorbing
Yeah.
boom?
Absorbent boom,
Okay.
yeah. A
Okay.
floating absorbent boom, sock.
at least where you're working with heavy equipment, like if you have to keep moving it
Yeah, so
down.
you want that in place all the time.
Yeah,
Yes, Bill.
Because we do have a spill kit.
is it shown on the
But you want
drawing?
more, you want more than that.
Yeah, I'd like at least a floating boom.
Okay.
What's the decking going to be, consist of on the boardwalk?
Just as it is now.
Wood?
Pressure
Pressure
treated.
treated?
2 by,
6.
So you have so you're gonna have a spill kit on site?
yes.
Is that
Where-
shown on the
and
plan?
Where's this stuff gonna be refueled? You're gonna have a truck come, right? Need a refueling plan?
Yeah, I mean, the refueling activities would, in the equipment storage is gonna be in the parking lot.
Fine, that's,
Yeah.
put a note
We'll
on
put an
an area.
area, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Spill kit refueling for floating boom. Staging area, show staging area. And you owe us the SWIP. I see your oil spill kit, a 20-gallon overpack. and a
Yeah, well, I
tank.
mean, we would need a lot more than that,
Yeah.
if we have,
A couple. Litter them, every 100 foot or whatever. What's the length of this completely?
it's about 450 feet. It's gonna end, the boardwalk reconstruction is gonna end here. And the retaining wall actually ties right into the, corner of the building, which you can see from the picture, so that's about right here.
Yeah.
And then the last dock is right here. There's another dock down here that's completely submerged, so we can get that on the survey. So there's 19, so it's about 450 feet from end to end.
Okay.
What's the duration of this project?
Again, I think the biggest thing is gonna be the wall, but I would anticipate about 6 to 8 weeks.
And you've applied for the Army Corps of Engineers, the DEC, OGS.
Yep.
You've applied for all those.
Yeah, joint permit, we filed all at the same time. Again, the DEC will be issuing a permit. The Army Corps, it's covered under the general nationwide permit, so we really don't get anything back from them, although we will have to prepare a pre-construction notification documents.
We'll just need copies of those
Yeah.
permits when you get them, for the
Yep.
file.
Yep. And then the Office of General Services, I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna get back. I think it's just gonna be like a one-liner. But again, we have the existing, easement. What did they say here? If the project, this is an email that I got, if the project is substantially an in-kind replacement of the existing structures, no additional authorization will be required from OGS for this project.
Oh, good.
So I don't think we're really gonna be getting anything back, to be honest with you.
During this project, there'll be no boats there.
So no, there's no boats there now.
Yeah, when do you plan on starting this?
As soon as we get everything together, I mean, I would, July, August, I mean, as soon as possible. I mean, every month that goes by that they're losing money because they do rent boat slips, so they wanna get it done as soon as possible.
What's the status of the SWIP, you said?
Well, it's just, I mean, whenever we have this set of plans complete, it's ready to go. We'll get the stormwater officer to file the MS4 acceptance form and file the, I mean, we got basic erosion and sediment control, so that's really the only component of the SWIP. There's no post-construction stormwater mitigation required. We're not changing the hydrology.
You mean the
so-
original has been accepted by them? The original stormwater drainage, water drainage? When it was originally built?
Oh, I
There's
don't,
nothing being changed
no,
about that?
no.
Well, we don't know what was submitted.
I mean, the only things I can see on this, I mean, it's got a lot of detail, you know, minor stuff. Spill kit on the drawing, refueling pan, put the number of spill kits that you're gonna put in. Floating boom, I would just like to have as an added bonus for, God forbid you have a release. It'd be known hydraulic hoses to blow.
Yeah, oh, sure, yeah.
Show staging area and the SWIP and copies of the permits. Copies of the other permits.
Yeah, I mean,
got
whatever
the-
you see right here is what we'll be adding to this, obviously, but this is what we submitted as part of the joint permit, so we'll just update this, we'll put the final stamps on it, and then,
Yep, they're all stamped preliminary print,
yeah.
unchecked, okay, uncorroborated.
I'm sorry, but.
How old is this,
1986.
6?
The seawall, the same construction, wood
Yeah.
timber?
How come they're going back with wood? Cheaper? Cost?
Yeah. I mean, it lasted 30,
32 years.
yeah, 32 years, so. That's
How
not
many,
bad,
how many
right?
units are here?
I'm sorry?
How many units are here?
60-something?
66.
All right. That's what all I have, just show those on the drawings. Good to go.
Okay.
That was easy. So, spill kit, show the number, provide a refueling
So do
plan,
you-
floating boom, besides the turbidity curtain, show the staging area. Could you also, you're in the SWIP, you're gonna have a checklist when they go through, and just to check on a daily or a weekly basis, the SWIP, the inspection sheet,
Right.
that'll be in the SWIP.
We'll have it on we weren't gonna really have a narrative,
No,
a
I'm-
basic SWIP, but we could put it on the plans. The
yeah, I'd like to
inspection
see the
schedule?
inspection schedule and inspection checklist. Copy of the checklist, what you wanna,
Right, and now, are you gonna want, qualified inspector inspections, or is it contractor self-inspection? Do you want a qualified inspector, or, I mean,
Well, the
'Cause a
town
basic
the town
SWIP
engineer and wetland inspector, one and the same, will be required to inspect at certain phases, certain times, okay? So we just want to make sure, I think that's at least part of it that we want to see,
okay,
okay? And any of the inspections by the state and et cetera like that, or state or DEP or whatever.
okay.
I would like third party, but
Well,
I'm
it's
not
always,
spent-
it's always better, yeah. I'm not a big fan of,
Yeah,
contracts,
self-
self-inspection, yeah, yeah.
self-inspections. Tend to get into a little trouble that way. So, yeah, have a third party, independent.
Okay.
Kind
So-
of like the safety engineer, right? They report to the president.
Right. So you want, so the 20-gallon, overpack.
Just show us a number of spill kits.
So you
gotta
want
have
more
on
than
site.
one?
You need
Yeah.
about 4,
Okay,
4 to 5 you need.
you
okay,
know, every 100 feet or so.
Provide
Let's say
a spill kit, a number, refueling plan, floating boom for outside the turbidity curtain, show staging area, provide a copy of the SWIP, a copy of the inspection checklist and inspection schedule, and copies of the other permits. All right,
okay.
that's easy.
So when's the next time should we, when should we come back? Do we need to?
When you have, what I would do
Okay.
is when you get the rest of those other permits, and if you get, you know, as they start coming in, I'd get your SWIP in so we could review that
Oh, yeah, I can get that in,
better.
yeah, yeah.
If you have the SWIP ready, send that in now, and we'll take a look at it, and then as you get the permits, just get them in, and as soon
Okay.
as you feel you're ready, just make an appointment with Rose, and,
Okay,
well, here's the thing now, it's a 30-day clock. Or we would have to accept the application, okay, at the next meeting, when you have all this stuff. We would accept the application, and then you would go on public notice,
right.
and then.
Public
once
has
the-
30 days.
Right, they get 30 days, well, 4 to 6 weeks, let's just say.
Right.
Which typically we're every 2 meetings. So we would put you on the clock, and then 2 meetings after that, if there's no comments, you would get your permit. So right now, we're in May, this is the last meeting in May. So then we have June 6th, I believe, June, then 2 weeks after that.
First and third.
First and third Thursday,
of every
and
month.
July 4th, week of July, the
I'm sorry, that's June 7th.
June, I was close.
You were pretty close, and the 21st.
So then
By June
July,
21st.
if they have the firemen's parade, typically we don't have a meeting that week,
That's July 5th.
so
Don't have it.
Tick-tock.
tick tock tuck, yep, time is money. So what I would do is,
I mean, I just gotta follow up with all this stuff, because everything is in, so.
Collected.
I actually have the plans in with the DEP just to double check to see that they don't have any jurisdiction, but she said Mary Galasso, she said as long as we're not increasing the,
Square
any-
footage,
right, then they
place in
don't,
kind.
then they don't have any jurisdiction, so we're just she's double checking on that, so.
yeah, so you're probably looking, I'm not,
So if she gives you an answer, though, a letter from her, I'm sure she'll put it in writing, submit that also.
Yeah,
what you could do is if you want, by next week, make these changes on the drawings, get them over to Rose. She'll get them over to us. You want to come, if, you know, you're getting closer with the next meeting. If you start gathering some stuff, come the next meeting. And if everything is, up, you know, if everything's kosher, we can put you on the clock. Because I know time is of the essence.
Yeah.
All right?
okay.
We can't accept the application now because there's just too many holes.
Sure, oh, yeah, 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 I mean, they couldn't start any, I mean, yeah, even if.
Even if they had us, you
Yeah,
can't start.
yeah.
So there's just too many holes.
Right,
And that's it.
okay,
All right?
all right, great,
Thanks.
thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
Good luck.
Okay, so we had a meeting these are the meeting minutes. 3/15/18, the only one that can't vote is Toronto, neither can we. No vote, we don't have a quorum. 4/5/18, can't vote because of me. 4/19/18, we can all vote. Do I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So with that, we've gone through the agenda. Can I have this package, or are you gonna take that?
I want to take a look at it.
Okay. So do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Motion?
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Meeting's adjourned. Have a nice weekend. Stay dry. Good night.